sensitive topic to this morning. A lot has been going on social media, and that again robbed Mnangagwa in the issue of counts, the Illuminati part. I want to explore on that topic this morning so that we all moving together because it's very important. We need to know where we are here and where to from here. I think that's the most important part. So yeah, so it is important to know that Zimbabwe is in a mess because of Satanism. It's very important to know that it's not the politics the problem, but their fundamentals that we need to deal with. Is evil that has taken over our nation, but also very clear that it is Mnangagwa's end. It's the signs are there as you look at left, right, and center. It is the end of his reign. It's very clear. Also, the sad part is there are so many people within the ZanuPF arena who would not want Mnangagwa to proceed with the 2030, even though you see them at Precard Farm. They can't even say it openly because they're afraid to speak truth into power. It is quite very sad. And I must also let you know that the devil is behind all that you see. But it's time for him to expose our brothers and sisters and humiliate them. So come through, guys, as we talked this morning. I saw Petronella. Joyce, good to see you. It's good morning. Please drop your location. I need to know where you guys are watching us from. It's a beautiful morning, but we are going to explore on Mnangagwa and his relationship with the Illuminati and the Satanism culture. That's what we're going to be seeing. So there's a guy who dropped a comment, very interesting comment. But anyway, if it's your first time to come across the channel, please make sure that you subscribe and you also turn on notification button so that every time I'm live, you will be robbed right so we can converse. I also want to say shout out to my regulars. I saw quite a number of you. Now, I'm so sorry, guys. Please bear with me. I miss those that actually be able to tune in immediately. But I want to say to you, thank you. Don't forget to like the live. We need to make sure that we push algorithm, invite everyone to the conversation. I'm going to be here every morning, in the afternoon and in the evening. I've actually already have a schedule made for 2025. It's an interesting year ahead. Let's proceed. There was a guy who dropped a tweet, a very, very sensitive tweet. I want to read it for you. Very sensitive. He said, Zimbabwe yakutongoda Mnangagwa. That's what he said. He said, Mnangagwa assassination chayo. That's yeah. Again, I've told you that I don't want to, I'm not a promoter of violence, but I have to say what people are actually uttering on our streets because it's important for the regime to know, okay? People are saying, back to the assassination, I don't know for who, but they actually said we are sick and tired of dealing with evil men and women. It's better for us to do what we have to do. But like I said, I'm not a promoter of violence, but I genuinely believe that we need to start having dialogues across political divide. And he went on to say, Parikuda Anongo Sparka, the lead that will cause the bonfire, Baba. Right? And then Mofu responded and said, Taura Hako, because it turns one empire Vaidzi, Kudaku Bachete, that's what Goda, Skanzavasati Vato Tanga Kubakwasho. It is just the beginning. Okay, like I said, I do not promote violence, but I genuinely believe that Zimbabweans are very angry and their feelings should never be ignored. I just hope those are actually speaking on behalf or working on behalf of Mnangagwa should take this information back to his office and say, sir, Zimbabweans are mad. Anything can happen any minute and any time. But I also want you guys to know that the Gukura that happened immediately after the independence in 1980, I genuinely believe it was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice to actually hold the people of Zimbabwe at ransom. That is there anything that we would do to them that will surpass the massacre of innocent people? I'm talking about men and women. Okay, innocent people that were killed for absolutely nothing. It was a blood sacrifice by the Satanic or the ZanuPF regime so that they can keep on holding Zimbabweans at ransom. It's very clear. But I want you to listen to Margaret Dongo this morning because Margaret Dongo also commented on why we are in this mess that we are in. And why is it people actually wanting a Chiwenga, not even seeing that, no, there is more here that we need to look into. We need a change of leadership. Because what we have currently with the ZanuPF regime is worse. And you guys are going to hear more information, explosive details a little bit later on. But let's listen to Margaret Dongo, please, this morning, because she's going to tell you what she thinks we should do as a Zimbabwean people. It's a sad situation. Take a listen, please.
Need to do to ensure that their country is at the same level as South Africa, as other developing nations in this world.
Look, the first thing I want to say to you honestly, I'm a comrade. We need a change. We need a change of leadership. Let it be, it can be a change within ZanuPF, a change coming from opposition or whatever. We need young generation to come in and drive the change of this country, drive the economy of this country. Because our experiences are different. Mukutaura nasekuru vakatumwa kwamakorporate things kuti uitire development. Mukutaura nasekuru vana vedu, they are full of technology. They can come in and invest that in the economy, but they don't have opportunity. The only thing that we can do, the first thing before you even talk about the change of the economy, is to change the leadership. Change the leadership within, or the opposition can come in. Because you can't even, for ZanuPF, I have a problem. Because any young generation who raise up their voice, they're expelled. We go out, they denounce ZANU, but when their stomachs are empty, they have to go back. Because they know that's where money comes easily. And they are never allowed to participate in meaningful positions. We are looking at elections for 2028. 2028. Chiwenga should come in. Zianga vice president. No one is talking of a young generation or a young freedom fighter to come in and take over power. Apana. It has to circle within these geriatrics, I'm sorry to say. It has to circle within these very mature people, not young generation. So, okay, avambotera vakataura naTongogara. Tongogara akataura kana tatora nyika, tatonga tapinda tatonga nyika, topa vana vadiki vachizotitongera nyika. Kune vachiteererawo vanotorwadza. Tongogara said it clearly. Kuti kana tatora nyika toti tonge tobva pass on to the young generation, yoita take off. Even they can't even pass on to the young generation within their own political party. What more the opposition?
And it's just right. Actually, I agree with you. I mean, it's very clear that the ZanuPF, these old people have sold their souls to the devil. It's very clear. They really have sold their souls to the devil. And Margaret is right. I genuinely don't think that there's any leadership that will come out of ZanuPF. I don't believe it. You know why? Because this guys has been through a lot. They have been taught the wrong ways of leadership. Violence is what they know. Screaming, lying, deception, killing innocent people, poisoning innocent people. How on earth are they going to be able to lead? Are you telling me that ZanuPF can reform and be a normal people actually in leadership? I don't think they have the capacity at all. In fact, these guys need to be rescued from themselves. They genuinely need to be rescued because all they know is a deception. I don't have a problem with people who can say, you know what, we can see maybe Chamisa is doing something or any other political person, maybe it's Monzora, I don't care. It can be Valerio. But what we can do is that we can actually be able to have better policies that can make this country a better place. So we can beat them. Let's have a debate face to face and see how we can counter whatever tactics that another over player has. No, these ones don't. They will sit and plan how to destroy someone. Guys, there is a difference between competing when you are, you have aspiring to be a leader. And it's another thing when you sit down and plan how to destroy someone. But that's ZanuPF's culture. They always sing on how to destroy the other person, not what can we offer better than what is already on the table. It is a sad situation. It's the culture that needs to change, but again, boils down to the culture of evil. It's who they are. It's the culture of wickedness, Satanism at play. Now, the ZanuPF young people, yesterday, wrote to Mnangagwa. He said it's going to be very difficult convincing people about the 2030 issue when the government communications is this poor. No one is even trying, or maybe it's deliberate sabotage of the government. We don't know now. Big, nice projects are never shown. These tax shop style structures are published. And he also tagged Muskwere and Nick Mangwana. We need to work better in the ministry. I think there is, from what I'm seeing here, they are reporting that they've built a judiciary that is in Shamba. It's simply like a tax shop. Tell me a judiciary in 2025, a tax shop. that a magistrate will sit and begin to actually judge people. You can see how much they take life. It's like it's a joke. A tuck shop is being called a magistrate's court. He's right. These guys don't even have a clue of what leadership is. They only focus on evil. How can we destroy Chamisa? How can we kill innocent people? How can we silence those that are speaking truth into power? That's not leadership. All actions are just simply the works of the wicked. It's the works of evil. I genuinely don't think that there will be anything comes out of that can come out of ZanuPF in terms of leadership. I don't care what people are trying to say. They don't have the capacity. They do not have it. But you also know that Mnangagwa is on record calling himself the Godfather. And I wanted to know what is really the definition of Godfather, because people just hear what Mnangagwa saying things and they don't even take it seriously. I know he just said Godfather, and immediately they begin to use their own social media influencer to drop a dedicated strategy, and then we are just going to be sold out to all these lies. But we're not focusing on the most important thing. Mnangagwa was very clear. He said, "I am the Godfather of this country. Every institution I control." He is there on record saying it in front of Zimbabweans, and nobody can even take it serious. We listen to him. Oh no, but he just say he's a Godfather, and we laugh, and then life goes on. But we don't zero in what is he really trying to say, and why does he have to call himself a Godfather when he's supposed to be a president of a country? Why would they have to intimidate citizens? But he knows that's where his power is. He is the Godfather of Zimbabwe, a Godfather. Okay, take a listen, please.
I've been Minister of National Security a very long time. So most of the systems in Zimbabwe, I created them. So they always remember who their Godfather is. So if you plan against me, I get to know.
I think the funny part is people are laughing. What is so funny? You see, to show that Zimbabwean men need to, again, they need deliverance, especially those that are within the camps of ZanuPF. They need deliverance. What is so funny? What is so funny when a man is disrespecting you like that? He's saying, "I'm the Godfather that you guys do whatever I want. Whatever I say goes." And then they're laughing. What is funny? They stand for nothing. They really stand for nothing. Do I blame Mnangagwa? I don't blame him. He has got fools who are bootlicking him. They bootlick him. It's not even funny at all. But you must also not forget there's a scripture that I love in the Bible. Okay. And I know this one, whatever I'm going to be saying today, it sounds stupid. There's educated people who claim to be educated. Zimbabweans, you're too educated to kind of understand the small, simple things. There's a scripture that is 1 Corinthians, for those that read the Bible, 2:14-16. It says, "Now the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, and he cannot know them, because they are spiritually judged. But he that is spiritually judgeth all things, and he himself is judged of no man." You will never understand what's going on in the country if you're not a spiritual person. I don't say if you go to church, because you can go to church and still be unspiritual. It's very possible. You can get the hype of just being part of a community, of fellowship, without no understanding of how the spiritual world works. The real deal in Zimbabwe is in the spiritual world, where we are being controlled, where we are hypnotized. You need to ask. You see men and women clapping hands, being given cars, but the very same people who destroy them, and they're actually celebrating them. It's not just normal. It's not a physical war. It's a spiritual war. I'm in control of your life. That's exactly what the ZanuPF regime is. They have hypnotized the Zimbabwean people. They use the same money they loot from the state to destroy your destiny. And you take that money, you think that's success. And you see these guys bragging. Just check the guys who turned against citizens last year and 2023. Look at them in the lifestyle they're living. They're showing off on social media. I can see them. When they go to America, they're showing off. When they talk about, no, we are no longer using cooking oil, we're not using olive oil. That's all manner of things because they think that's success, not knowing that they're just being bought to destroy their own lives. We don't see the small little things where the details are and where our destiny are being stepped on by the regime. This regime is worshipping the devil. And the Zimbabwean people don't see it. They have an altar they've set. This altar is controlling how the Zimbabwean think. If you just land by RG Mugabe, the airport, you all can see that things have changed. You can feel the dark cloud because this country is held at ransom. And we just think, no, it's just politics. No, it's not. It's not the politics the problem. The politics are simply exposing the underlying factors. Evil. Evil is the problem. The satanic god ZanuPF is serving is the problem. There is no way any human being can kill without feeling nothing. They can't even poison people without feeling nothing. They can't manufacture poverty without feeling nothing. These guys will break in front of their brothers and sisters who are starving. The same people that they've looked their money from. These guys would rather eat with outsiders than their own brothers and sisters. And you can tell me that that is normal. No, it's not. It's Satanism. It's wickedness. But you can't see it when you're too educated. You think everything is always about looking for the better grammar. Oh no, that's authoritarian rule. No, that's dictatorship. And the enemy is going to say, okay, no, that's what you're right. It's dictatorship. You are very comfortable with the words, not with the truth. The truth remains, it is Satanism. It's evil. And I just want them to hear me out and hear me well. And okay, the guys that are saying here, take the information to them and said, I'm actually helping them to free them from themselves. I want them to be free from this wickedness. But what is the definition of Godfather? A man who presents a child in baptism, hear this out, and promises to take responsibility of their religious education. I'm going to repeat. A man who presents a child at baptism and promises to take responsibility for their religious education. Are you surprised? Are you surprised why everyone who joined ZanuPF act as if they're no longer thinking? People always mock and say, once you join ZanuPF, they take away your brains. No, they don't take away your brains. They baptize you into the couch, into a satanic realm. You need to ask yourself, why is it they've hijacked the church? Why is it now they've destroyed the judiciary? They've messed up with state institutions, be it the police, the military. They also have messed up with the church. Ask yourself why, because that's where the power lies. Once the church is neutralized, their power increases. I was shocked about a month, a few weeks ago, Mnangagwa went to open a church in Bulawayo. A president is opening a church that doesn't know what is it all about. You see him when he gets in the church celebrate him. If you ever ask yourself why, the very same men who's keeping them at ransom, people are cheering up because they are not spiritually inclined. They're just excited by seeing a man because he's got a title, not really look into the deeper things. What are his actions? What kind of a person is he? Because there is no way that we can have such violence in the country. And in Mnangagwa, not a single day has he ever condemned it as a leader. You've never heard him saying, no, but we don't want violence in this space. You never heard him saying that. In fact, he actually said to people, go there and beat people out. You send them out to do evil. So the baptism is when you just join ZanuPF. You're a different person because you're under a couch. You're under a spell. You're under a cloud. And you will see, I've said this, and I want you to remember, the day this regime will fall, very soon, you'll see the change that will happen overnight in the country. I said overnight. In 2017, it seems like the change had arisen. You saw the excitement, but no, people were not smart enough to actually be very close and say, no, but who are we going to trust taking over this office? They didn't know that the real deal happened post-independence. That was 1980, 1983, when there was Gukurahundi. That was these guys sold their souls to the devil. You also remember Dr. Moyo saying, Gosana Moyo said, the people are not fighting to do away with this cult and the evil. No, they are fighting to be part of the evil. And that's what happens when poverty rings. This is why I'm a hater of poverty, and poverty is of the devil. Once poverty is there, the enemy, he wiggles himself because now a person is vulnerable. People celebrate the same guys who are hating them. Look at the way they treat citizens is being treated as normal, but it is abnormal. But in our society, because we have accepted evil and we have turned evil as, oh no, that's just, he can do whatever he wants. The guy flaunts money, okay, openly. When there are people who are starving, we have never eaten. And that money is stolen from the same people, okay? You need to ask yourself, they looted money during the election, pretend that there was an election, there was nothing. And no one say anything. Now they have now moved closer or now filters their evil into neighboring countries. You need to ask you, how come when Ruto came to Zimbabwe, left with a box and things went wild in Kenya, people died, the spill of blood. Ask yourself why when they turned their hands into Mozambique, things went wild. and people died, blood sacrifices. Check the countries that do not want to do anything with that. There's peace. And you guys don't even see it. You simply think it's politics. It's not, it's bigger than what you guys see. It's not just politics. Now there's a bombshell that was dropped on social media. This guy here has been very close to Mnangagwa. But the family now exposed him. They leaked one of his video when he was actually alleging himself to the Illuminati group. Very close business partner to Emmerson Mnangagwa. The information is out. I'm going to read what Point 5 Creative Studios reported actually on X. So they said Chief Executive Officer of the FMC Finance Rangarire Mavunga, that's his name, E.D. Mnangagwa's business partner exposed for being part of the Illuminati. And this guy is on record confessing, these are his words, the video's out. The family exposed the video when he was actually alleging himself to be part of the satanic cult. I want to take a listen to him speaking. Okay. We never think about important things. Okay. I apologize. Something really happened here. I think they forgot. But anyway, in a nutshell, just pray that I can pick up this one very quickly. Bear with me, please. This guy could actually say to me, I'm alleging myself to honor the Illuminati and its masters. He's Mnangagwa's business partner. Okay. I have to honor. And one thing that I will tell you is Mnangagwa says that in most companies in the country, which include Net One, he controls many companies. I do remember speaking to someone, that was about a few months ago, and the person told me that no, she met this other girl, and the father works for sugar refinery, and the father was like, the daughter was saying the father was actually complaining at home that Mnangagwa make demands, and is the one that controls what goes down at sugar refinery. This is the president of the country, right? He decides what happens in companies. Do you blame him when he comes out and said, I'm the godfather of this country? Are you surprised? In a nutshell, he's just telling that I control you spiritually. Because once I control you spiritually, you are powerless. You're powerless. I've always said, it's one thing for you to actually, beat me if you want and can hit my arm. Maybe I'll get my arm back. But once you take over my brains or my mind, then you've killed me. This is why if you become mentally disturbed, you've lost your life. But people don't even see how we are hypnotized as a country to actually accept wrong. The wrong has become normal in the country in Zimbabwe. Everything that is good has become bad. The evil has become good. People are so comfortable in doing evil. Sometimes they can even lie when it's unnecessary. You can ask a person, is A? They'll tell you, no, it's Z. But it's okay to just say it's A. No, they will never say it's A. They will say it's Z. Because they're hijacked. I thought you would listen to him, but I will make sure that I drop that he's pledging on the shorts on YouTube and different social media platforms, so that you guys can actually be able to hear him. They did not attach it not in my software. But this guy is actually simply saying, I allege myself to the Illuminati and the masters of this group. Okay, he's Mnangagwa's partner in business. Rangarire Mavunga. And he was actually one of the CEO, the previous CEO was fired. He also again came out and said, my fate can only be decided by Emmerson Mnangagwa. This guy was fired. That was at Net One. I think you remember him, Muchenje. I remember the guy when he was working for MTN in South Africa and he got a job in Zimbabwe. He moved back to Zimbabwe and then he was fired. I think there was a lot of corruption that happened there. But he said, but my fate can only be decided by Mnangagwa. He's the only person that can decide if I have to go back to work or not. Again, we can't even see that. Our eyes are so close. We are very much comfortable in accepting wrong things. I can only imagine if Ramaphosa can be saying to companies, MTN, he decides what happened at MTN or he decides what happens at Vodacom. We have accepted nonsense. And this is why I'm saying, especially those within the camps, Mnangagwa is as strong as the gullible people who are supporting him, who do his dirty work, who go out there and threaten, who violating innocent people, who are beating elders in our streets. He is as strong as those people who does his dirty work, while his kids are just sitting and enjoying life, marrying as many women as they want, dining. But there are fools in the country who are ready to do his dirty work. Fools, and I repeat, they are fools. And the thing is politics. That's what they think. I remember I told you last time that when people took the money that they took cash, my 40,000 US dollars, my 350,000 US dollars, my 400,000 US dollars, the judges and all. And you need to ask yourself, well, how come we can't have a banking system that we can be able to do transaction but transfers? You need to ask yourself, it's not because we are not capable. We are capable. It's intentionally. So that when we exchange money, we can play around with the money before we give it to you. That's why I'm not a fan of receiving cash from people, because people can do anything once you receive cash. Okay, when they give you cash, they can actually tamper with your destiny. But you know what? If you can send a transfer, how can they do that? Because if I give you money in cash, there's exchange between you and I. You can take away my gifts if I'm not spiritual enough to pray for my hands and pray for my money. We are not seeing the most important things. We are focusing on the minimum stuff. Politics. No, politics is just, those are puppets. Spaces where things just pop out. But the real deal that we need to deal with is the cultism in the country. And again, 1 Corinthians 1:18, the Bible says, for the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. What I'm telling now, it sounds foolish to people who don't have understanding. But if you really think deeper, maybe one day your eyes will be opened, and one day your ears will be opened to be able to actually hear the truth and be able to see things as they are. Is the cult, it's wickedness, it's Satanism that has taken over Zimbabwe. Jonathan Moyo himself exposed Mnangagwa immediately after they fought. He said, I told him before Mugabe that you're a murderer. You're the one who killed people during the Gukura Hunt. These words are for Professor Jonathan Moyo. He went on to say, Mnangagwa, he's one of the most wicked guy. He said cruelty, murder, sex, money, and tribalism in any particular order are Mnangagwa's core values. He's a bad news. There is no living person ever forgiven by Mnangagwa, and there's no case of him ever genuinely reconciling with anyone he has considered a political ethnic foe. Forget about the politics. I'm not going to camp on that. It's not the politics. I want to camp on the truth. So that when I tell you, it's up to you what you're going to do with the information. Either you're going to take it serious or you leave it. Also speaking about the chilling voice of a mass murderer. This is Jonathan Moyo talking about Mnangagwa. He said the exhilaration in Mnangagwa's voice is telling he comes alive whenever violence and destruction are at play is an option for him. Mnangagwa is a ruthlessness personified. That's Jonathan Moyo. And I also remember a video that I saw where Mnangagwa, I spoke to a group of ZanuPF people, and he was advising them that anything that is to do with the opposition, and once again, I've told you, forget about this opposition thing. Anything that has to do that has to do with violating his own personal interests, or anything that does not serve him, is an enemy. Remember, it's about him. It's about Mnangagwa. Anything that does not serve him, Mnangagwa, not the party. Forget about the party, because even the people within ZanuPF party are afraid of him. Okay, look at them when they're in the meeting and he comes and he sits. He only is present even on television when he sits in all these meetings of Politburo. These guys are terrified of him. They're afraid of him. Show me any leader where you are terrified of. Will you ever want to be part of it? But majority of them are held at ransom because they know that once they walk away, there'll be consequences. Show me any leader who can do something like that. Show me any leader. Anyway, more details were dropped as far as the cricket farm is concerned. He has been really having a lot of visits to his farm, and the people are saying, those that are in ZanuPF are saying that's where his powers are. His altar, satanic altar, is a cricket farm in Kwekwe. And I said to the Church of Jesus Christ, now the truth is in the open. Pray for these things. Bring down the altar. Sometimes I ask myself questions. I'm like, you can't tell me that you say God is so powerful, right? You are always speaking about how mighty and powerful God is, but you don't put him to work. Display that God, this is powerful. That's why when Daniel stood up, when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood up for their God, and he showed up. But Esther stood up for their God, and he showed up. So where is the church in 2024? This is one of the reasons why ZanuPF have infiltrated the church to neutralize the powers so they can keep on being dominant. And you guys can't see it. You think it's about respect. I've heard people say, no, you need to honor. Hold on. Listen, I know the difference between honoring leadership, and I know it's when I'm being manipulated and abused and hypnotized and used and hijacked. I understand that part. Don't be so dumb to a point where you want to think that it's about honor. It's not about honor. It's about reality. It's about evil. Look at things as they are. Honor, yes. I can respect you, but that does not mean that you should destroy my life. If you can check how destinies have been ruined, that is anti-God. All those are works of the devil. But let's listen to Mulala, please. Again, saying more, shedding more light on the issue of cricket farm. Why so many visits to the cricket farm? Everything is spiritual. Mnangagwa is at work. He knows exactly what's going on in the farm. Take a listen, please.
Vechivandi inoitiwa kukwekwe. But vaitadza kuti vamise kana kuti vaite sei. Ameno kuti sei. So kwekwe inzvimbo inoyera kuna Mnangagwa. Inzvimbo inotorwa simba. So kana muchinzwa nhasi zvichinzi ma-MPs adaidzwa, ma-ministers adaidzwa, vakasvika kuya, kana masvika kuya munoita dzungu mese. Ndokutaura chokwadi. Lonke lava lesiyezi gcine lingasakwazi likwenzayo. Livume konke okutshiwoyo. Ndozvinoitika kukwekwe. Tabva kuna Mujuru, vakachiwenga vanozviziva. Saka mazuva ese ndogara ndisiti chiwenga ndofunga paari kana ari munhu kwaye. Nhasi ari kufunga chero paanenge ari kuti ndakairasa kusateerera vanhu kwangu, vanhu vaindiudza. Because hapana chiwenga chaasingazvizive. Ndakuenda kunogadzirira nyaya yemaveteran Congress ya 2015 kumasvingo. Kwekwe was involved. Izvi takaramba kuendako. Vanhu vakadaidzwa kuti kuzorongwa kuti vana Mutsvango ava isu nekuti hatina kuenda ikoko so tisingazive secret yakaitiwa ikoko. Vana Matematanda kuti vazoguma vakuleader War Veterans 2015 inyaya yakarongwa kukwekwe, masoja aripo. Vana Chiwenga vachinovhumirana kuti tibudirire pakfu ngakuprevent masenior war veteran kuti anopinda pazvigaro. Hatizozvigona because vanosupporta Mugabe.
Right, tichiri papo, sorry to interrupt. Tichiri panyaya iyoyo, what was the reason? Chii chakaita kuti musaende? What was the reason chakaita kuti musaende kufarm kune vamwe at that time?
The major reason takazvidisassociata nekuti tasingadi nyaya yokubvisa Mugabe nechisimba. But ndofunga takaita stupid takaziva information yakawanda.
All right, so you can hear that they say cricket farm is more like the center of where Mnangagwa's powers are. And this is why he keeps on roping people to the farm. What he wants, these are rituals that he's playing behind them. They don't even know. I've always been saying Zimbabweans, once you're around people unprincipled, you see, it's one thing to make a mistake, okay? Because we all have fallen short. I mean, to see the glory of God. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. But the Zimbabwean situation is a culture. There's a difference. Making a mistake, let's just assume ZanuPF was leading properly, and maybe they can make one mistake and they correct it. Fair play. I mean, no one is perfect. But in the Zimbabwean situation, it's a culture. This culture that is, I mean, everyone is tired of it. And you guys carry on, supporting it, nursing it, without even seeing that you are singing and singing and singing. But I'm glad that the end of Mnangagwa's era is here. It's very clear, because once the truth begins to come out and you get exposed, it means that your end is near. That's what the enemy is. He will use you abuse you, and then when it's done with you, you expose you. That's exactly where we're in. It's the era where truth is coming out. For years, Zimbabweans has always been blocked to hear the truth or to know what's going on. You hear the bits and pieces. I remember when we were young at school, we hear that people are being put in acid. We didn't know what that meant. But as we get to hear more and more information, we know that they have acid tank where they actually dip people, especially the opposition people or any activists who would speak truth into power would be killed. Truth are now coming out because before you fall, truth has to surface. And that's the season that we are in. So that's where Mnangagwa is being exposed left, right, and center. It's the end of his regime. It's the end of evil in the country. Truth has to be told. And I'm glad that this is the era that we are in today. All right, so moving on. As much as we think, yes, Mnangagwa has been playing his games, and he plays not only in the opposition, in his ZanuPF of is playing heavy games. Remember, he said he's going on holiday, he's going on leave, actually. And he said, these guys will do the work, but trust me, this guy is having meetings. You worked even on Christmas Day. That's what happens when the wicked will never have no rest. They will never have rest because remember, your staff are following you wherever you go. So he's not on any leave. Yesterday, he actually sat down with the people and read what the reports were saying. That this morning, Prime Minister of Qatar, Dr. Khalid bin Mohammed, met with Mnangagwa. But he's on leave. I don't know, he's got this supportness that could be sitting with these guys, and if it's about work, no. But then, Majara just went and said, is Mnangagwa on his annual leave? So what is Nkomo Mohad doing? When it comes to deals which involve gold and diamond smuggling, Mnangagwa always makes himself available. The beauty you see in Qatar and Dubai it was built on our minerals. Now visit Matapi floods. You guys gonna cry. He's right. All the beauty and ambience you see, because honestly, Dubai does not have minerals like we do. But you all know that they work in cause with fools that are in Zimbabwe to get trinkets, those small little watches. It's the poverty mentality that they have. They think to get us a gold watch is success. Stupid people. They think to build a house in Shawashi is success. Foolish people. They don't even understand the legals of a country. They would rather drive on potholes, right? They would drive on potholes and go home into an expensive house. The most foolish people you've never seen. They'd rather fly, with helicopters, the man that they loot from a country. But in a country that does not have a proper toilet in town, Harare, show me any proper toilet. I'm waiting for anyone to show me a proper toilet. I'm talking about public bathrooms. They can't do it. But they would rather give money to the people in Dubai to build Dubai. They would rather steal money from the country Zimbabwe and stash it in Dubai or stash it in Europe to benefit those that are in Europe, while our people are suffering in the country. That's how evil and diabolical they are. And don't tell me that is godly. Come here and tell me if that is godly. It's a cult, a satanic, a diabolical covenant that these people are worshipping. It's not a normal people. It's a group of a bunch of losers, fools who don't fear God. That's who these people are. It's out there. It's there in black and white because people are not prepared to tell the truth. Anyway, because when the devil is at work in the country, things just fall apart. I guarantee you, there's a lot of people who are trying to unalive themselves. I saw a guy yesterday writing a series of tweets on social media, and I went to his inbox. I was looking for him to speak to him. He said he wants to end his life. I was like, you don't do that. But that's what happens when the enemy takes over and takes control. People lose hope. Majority of Zimbabweans have lost hope, especially men. I pray for men all the time because they are suffering more. That's why they're coming out and cry because they have nowhere to go. These guys are seeing money being splashed across social media, but they don't even know what to feed their kids with. Not all they can do is to end their lives. I also don't know this guy that the crime watch reported in Malawi that he unalived himself meters away from his girlfriend's houses. I just said maybe did not. Maybe he was killed by someone else, and we just think he did it himself. What if someone did when this girlfriend thing and all cheating and all manner of stuff? That's a lot. Or sometimes some people also selling their souls to the devil now because they're desperate of a lifestyle. So they'll rather say, I'm going to sell my soul if I can get these temporary trinkets of looking at least a bit luxurious in a short space of time. So be it. But they don't know that comes again with consequences. Please do not sell yourself to the devil. There is a solution that is coming up very soon in the country. You must not sell your soul to the wicked one. God will always come through for you. He's a father, and he's always going to provide. It may take time, but trust me, I genuinely believe that what's going on in the country, God allowed it. Because he's capable of stopping anything even right now. But once he takes his time, he's at work. I genuinely believe he wants to turn Zimbabwe 360 degrees. You know why? Because our country is going left and God has to take it right. Right? He has to take it right. And because it's already under a cultism, under evil cults, God has to turn it around completely. And it takes a lot of transition. It takes a lot of changes. Our people have to hit rock bottom, and everybody has to hit rock bottom, including those that are in ZanuPF, including Mnangagwa himself, have to hit rock bottom in order for God to change the trajectory and change the direction of the country that it should go. So please understand, this is very deliberate. I genuinely believe it's intentional. God allowed it to happen that way because he knew this country needs total change. We are really in a mess. We are deep in trouble, and this country has to be changed. But it can only change when you and I have to change our hearts and our souls, remembering that we are one and we are one people. I've always advised my brothers and sisters, said once we are so consumed by politics, but we are not consumed by Zimbabwe. We should all understand that we are Zimbabweans first before we get to choose who can be our leader. So once we put Zimbabwe at the center, we'll find solutions, and the solutions are here because everyone now is saying we want to build a better country and we can choose leaders that we want. And that free and fair election is coming in 2028. I can guarantee you, all these shenanigans of Mnangagwa is going to collapse very soon. It's going to be destroyed for good. So relax. That time is coming. It's fast approaching. And I want you guys to really share some love everywhere you go. Spread the fire of love. I'll see you this afternoon. I love you. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. Don't forget to share the live with everyone else. And make sure that at least you like the live before you leave. Oleo, like it before you leave. So at least we push algorithm, inviting everyone to the conversation. I want people to know the truth because truth comes before freedom. I love you. God bless you and God bless Zimbabwe. I'll see you later and bye for now.